part 1 of our video, we asked the question, why would people sail to Morocco? Because in Spain and in Portugal, and even here in the Canary Islands, we met a lot of people, a lot of sailors, who were concerned about sailing to Morocco. They would rather sail 7 days in a row, directly from Portugal or Spain to the Canary Islands, than to make a stop in Morocco. Let's look into those concerns and see what experience we made during our stay in Morocco. Marina Rek in Rabat is safe. Period. Some of the king's yachts are kept there, and he seems to know how to keep the marina safe. Every pontoon finger has a guard, and the entire perimeter is fenced and guarded. Walking through the big cities, like Rabat or Casablanca, is as safe or unsafe as anywhere in the world. Just be aware of pickpockets. Driving a car in Morocco for sure is the highest safety risk. The Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca is the 5th largest mosque in the world and the largest mosque in Africa. Its 200 meters tower is the tallest mosque tower of the world. This is the mausoleum of Mohammed V, who finally brought Morocco independence from France. Opposite of the mausoleum is Hassan Tower. Built at the end of the 12th century, it was supposed to be the minaret of the world's largest mosque, but it was never finished. Salih, on the opposite side of River Rek, was a haven for pirates till the late 19th century. Casper of the Odayas at the mouth of the River Rek in Rabat is a fort that was built in the 12th century, and people live there till today. Two languages are widely spoken in Morocco, Arabic and French. So if you speak one of these two languages, you will not have any problem whatsoever. In facilities like airports or marinas, some English is spoken, but off the beaten path, it may get a little tricky. But thanks to Google Translate and co, the language shouldn't be a big barrier. Morocco is a Muslim country. The vast majority of the population is Muslim, and Muslim traditions are being held up. Morocco also to me appears as one of the most traditional Arabic countries without being fundamentalist in any way. We experienced Morocco as very open and liberal, welcoming and curious, not hostile towards foreigners. On the streets you can see traditional Muslim clothes as well as modern Western fashion, maybe showing a little less skin than North America or Europe.
thing about Morocco that has surprised me the most is how they feel about dogs. Every other destination we've been to has been extraordinarily dog friendly. We've been to Germany and France and Spain and Portugal, and all those places are dog friendly. But here in Morocco, just most people don't have dogs as pets. And this was kind of surprising. This is the first place I've ever been where people stare at you for walking along the streets with a dog on a leash. And it's very obvious that they're not used to seeing dogs as domestic animals. They're more used to seeing them as wild animals. They're afraid of the dogs. How could you be afraid of Captain Jack or Scout? But I can understand it because they're just not used to seeing dogs as pets, and they see them as wild animals. And I kind of compare this with, in Alabama, we see a lot of armadillos running around on the streets. We see armadillos everywhere we go, and they're wild animals. And I think that it would be really strange to see someone walking down the street with an armadillo on a leash, or walking into a restaurant with an armadillo on a leash. And this is probably how the Moroccans feel when they see us walking around with the dogs.
Morocco would be the logical stop for every sailor headed from Portugal or Spain to the Canary Islands. Unfortunately, there are only very few marinas on the huge coastline of Morocco. There's one in Le Rache, Kenitra, the big one in Rabat, Mohammedia has a small one, Safi has a really small one, and Agadir. There are a few more commercial ports where you can seek shelter during bad weather, but they really do not have any facilities for sailboats.
We have published an entire video on how to approach Marina Berg Rec in Rabat. If you're interested, please use the info icon in the top right corner to jump right to it. This is why we are only covering it briefly here. Morocco's Atlantic coastline is open and unprotected. There are no bays and firths or islands that provide natural shelter against the respectable swell coming in from the oceans. So most marinas are in rivers, and experienced sailors know what that means. In front of the rivers, sandbars are building up that are feared for two reasons. One, their position, shape and depth are changing constantly, and two, the ocean swell is building dangerously high breaking seas at those bars. It's crucial to carefully plan the passage. Consult current handbooks and charts, but even the most current will be out of date by the time you will use them. This is why Marina Berg Rec offers free pilot service, and we absolutely recommend to make use of this. Call them on the radio and they will come out and guide you over the bar to your berth.
Sailing of the Seepike?
Stand by and wait for pilot. The pilot is coming. 5 minutes, the pilot is coming. Over.
Thank you very much. The pilot's coming. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome, sir. Over.
Morocco has to be entered in official port of entry. In Rabat, the pilot guides you to the customs pontoon, where immigration, police and customs await you. You should have your ship and crew documents ready for inspection and fill out several forms, after which you can proceed to your berth. Don't forget to hoist your courtesy and Q flag. So why would anyone go to Morocco? What's our personal conclusion? We always felt safe in Morocco. In the marina, in the cities, driving through the country, we always felt safe, but we can understand that off the beaten path there might be a different situation. And there was plenty to see, I can promise. Also, we never had a problem with languages. I mean, no one of us speaks good Arabic or French, but we always found a way to communicate. And the clash of cultures was more interesting than difficult to handle. It's just a question how easy you can adapt to a foreign culture, like everywhere in the world. And addressing the sailing stuff, yes, I understand there's a lack of marinas, so you need to do very careful passage planning. And also, the approaches to most of the marinas is tricky. Again, carefully plan your route, you'll be good. And last but not least, the bureaucracy to clear in and out of the country is very limited. So the question is, why would anyone not sail to Morocco?